step into the hushed, cavernous halls of Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. The air is still, the light soft, but within this sanctuary of beauty, a profound emptiness lingers. Look closely at these frames, ornate, gilded, yet utterly devoid of their original purpose. They hang like silent witnesses to a crime, stark reminders of a night that redefined the very meaning of loss in the art world. For over 3 decades, these blank spaces have symbolized a wound that refuses to heal, a mystery that continues to baffle and haunt, inviting us to ponder the audacious act that created them. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum is not just a building, it is a meticulously crafted vision, a personal collection transformed into a public treasure. Isabella Stewart Gardner, a remarkable Boston socialite and patron of the arts, spent decades acquiring an extraordinary array of masterpieces. She designed her museum to be an intimate, immersive experience, a journey through art where every piece was placed with intention. Her will famously stipulated that the collection must remain exactly as she arranged it, an unchangeable testament to her unique artistic sensibility. This meant no new acquisitions, no rearrangement, and crucially, no empty spaces. What made this collection so vital, so irreplaceable? It wasn't just the sheer number of works, but their unparalleled quality and historical significance. Here, you could find a Rembrandt, a Vermeer, a Monet, artists whose names alone conjure images of art history's pinnacle. For Bostonians, the Gardner Museum was a sacred space, a cultural anchor. To understand the gravity of the heist, one must first grasp the depth of this artistic legacy. The pieces were not mere objects, they were fragments of human history, expressions of genius, each with a story stretching back centuries. Their loss was not just monetary, but spiritual and communal. The night of March 18, 1990, began with a chillingly ordinary scene. Around 1:24 a.m., 2 men in Boston Police Department uniforms arrived at the museum's side entrance. They claimed to be responding to a call, a fabricated disturbance, to which the security guard, Richard Abath, initially hesitated but ultimately granted entry. This pivotal decision opened the floodgates for what would become the largest property theft in recorded history. The authenticity of their uniforms and the confidence of their demeanor disarmed any immediate suspicion, allowing them to step past the threshold and into the unsuspecting museum, cloaked in the authority of law enforcement. Once inside, the facade of police authority quickly crumbled. The guards, Abath and his colleague, were swiftly overpowered. The thieves, with surprising efficiency, handcuffed the guards and led them to the basement, where they were duct-taped to pipes in separate locations. This was no spur-of-the-moment smash and grab. The perpetrators knew the museum's layout, its blind spots, and how to neutralize its human element. Their movements were precise, controlled, suggesting a level of reconnaissance and planning that went far beyond mere opportunism, marking this as a highly sophisticated operation right from its initial stages. Over the next 81 minutes, the thieves systematically looted 13 pieces of art. The haul was astonishing, including Rembrandt's only seascape, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, and his A Lady and Gentleman in Black. They also took Vermeer's The Concert, one of fewer than 40 known works by the Dutch master. Edgar Degas's La Sortie de Passage and 5 other Degas drawings were also among the spoils. Each piece was not just valuable, it was a cornerstone of art history, representing a devastating loss to global cultural heritage. The sheer audacity and the caliber of the stolen art sent shockwaves worldwide. The selection of stolen items was, to many experts, peculiar. While they took undeniably priceless masterpieces, they left behind other works of immense value, including a Raphael self-portrait and a Titian. In some instances, the thieves even cut canvases directly from their frames, a crude act that damaged the art and reduced its potential resale value. This behavior puzzled investigators. Why damage art you intend to sell? Why leave behind pieces that could have fetched fortunes? This unusual selectivity and method hinted at a specific, perhaps non-monetary, motive or a buyer with very particular, and possibly illicit, tastes, adding another layer to the mystery. One of the most confounding aspects of the Gardner heist is the question of what happened to the art afterward. These are not anonymous objects, they are among the most famous and recognizable artworks in the world. selling them on the legitimate art market is an absolute impossibility. Every major auction house, every reputable gallery, every serious collector would immediately recognize them as stolen. This art market impossibility theory suggests that the thieves either had an incredibly niche, perhaps illicit, buyer lined up, or they stole the art not for sale, but for leverage, a trophy collection for a dark syndicate, or even a bizarre personal obsession. From the earliest days of the investigation, suspicion quickly fell upon organized crime. The sheer scale, the precision, and the professional execution of the heist bore the hallmarks of a well-orchestrated criminal enterprise. Art theft, while seemingly glamorous, is often linked to more brutal rackets, drug trafficking, extortion, or even arms dealing. The art itself could be used as collateral in such illicit trades, a bargaining chip in a world far removed from gilded galleries. The FBI has long pursued connections to Boston's Irish mob, notably figures like James Whitey Bulger's crew, believing the art might be held by such powerful syndicates as a security blanket. Another compelling theory revolves around the idea of insider help. The thieves exhibited an uncanny familiarity with the museum's internal workings, knowing which alarms to disable, where the security cameras were and weren't, and how to navigate the complex layout. This suggested someone with intimate knowledge had provided critical information. Could it have been one of the security guards themselves, or perhaps a disgruntled former employee? The lack of forced entry and the direct approach to the security guard further fueled this suspicion. An insider could have provided blueprints, schedules, or even simply crucial details about the museum's vulnerabilities. The art market impossibility also leads to a key question: who would commission such a theft? It's not about selling the art openly, but perhaps about a private collector so wealthy and secretive that they could possess these masterpieces in complete isolation, never to be seen again. This trophy room theory implies a deep, dark corner of the art world where conventional rules do not apply. Such a person would essentially bury the art, enjoying it privately while keeping its existence a heavily guarded secret. The lack of any verifiable attempts to sell the art publicly over decades certainly lends credence to this highly unconventional scenario. The empty frames are more than just missing canvases, they are gaping wounds in the heart of the museum, and indeed, in the soul of Boston. They serve as a constant, tangible reminder of the audacity of the crime and the frustrating failure to recover the stolen treasures. Every visitor who walks through these galleries confronts the void, the unfulfilled promise of a complete collection. The absence is a palpable presence, forcing contemplation not just on what was lost, but on the enduring mystery of human avarice and the unseen forces that can make invaluable beauty vanish without a trace. It's a silent, daily testament to unresolved injustice. For the city of Boston, the Gardner heist remains an open-wound, an unresolved chapter in its history. The FBI continues to pursue leads, and the museum offers a standing reward of $10 million for information leading to the art's safe return. This extraordinary sum reflects not just the monetary value, but the cultural significance of what was lost. The theft is a persistent whisper in the city's narrative, a story passed down through generations. It underscores how deeply intertwined art, history, and community are, and how the absence of iconic works can leave a collective sense of sorrow and injustice that decades cannot erase. The Gardner Museum, in a powerful act of defiance and hope, keeps the empty frames hanging. This decision is deliberate, a statement of unwavering belief that one day, these spaces will again house their rightful masterpieces. They are not merely placeholders, they are monuments to hope, persistent calls for justice, and an educational tool. They teach us about the fragility of beauty, the audacity of crime, and the enduring human desire for both possession and appreciation. Each empty frame tells a story not of defeat, but of an ongoing vigil, a commitment to never forget what was lost, and to never cease searching. The question lingers: where can priceless art, so famous and so universally recognizable, hide for decades? Is it tucked away in a private vault of a reclusive billionaire? Is it used as a morbid form of collateral in the dark underworld, changing hands without ever seeing the light of day? Or is it perhaps closer than we imagine, waiting for the right moment, or the right negotiation, to re-emerge? The answers remain elusive, obscured by time and the cunning of those who orchestrated this audacious theft. The vastness of the world, ironically, provides the perfect cover for something so overtly visible, turning it into the ultimate invisible treasure. As we conclude our journey through the echoes of the Gardner Museum heist, the silence in those hallowed halls speaks volumes. It's a silence that demands attention, a void that begs to be filled. The case serves as a stark reminder of how fragile our cultural heritage can be, and how the pursuit of justice for art is a relentless, global endeavor. We are left with the lingering question, a challenge to our collective consciousness: will these masterpieces ever return home? Or will the empty frames forever tell the story of the day when art vanished, leaving behind only an enduring legend and an unsolved enigma that continues to captivate the world?